It's me again. There's a page on here called Black to Africa. He was supposed to be working on some kind of documentary. He wanted to get together a couple of black Americans that lived in Ghana and that were scammed in Ghana. However, he must be based in California, and he has a different time. And then he's only giving you 10 minutes, and then he wants you to be very specific about what type of scam, and it had to be a land scam or a housing scam. So I wanted to put together a video. I really have a lot of other things to do, and I just don't feel like doing this. I have a nonprofit, and I'm trying to raise money for my efforts in Burkina Faso. This guy, Black to Africa, and he goes, "Go Black to Africa." It's so funny to me because he's brown skin. As you can see, I'm losing my pigment here, which I've said in other videos before. And this guy is Black to Africa. Millions of Africans don't consider you black if you're an American. It's something I heard every day in Ghana all day long. Besides calling me Obolo, pig, big biggie, fat mommy. We love big, fat, obese people. And it's funny because now I've gained a lot of weight. When I lived in the country, I lost probably maybe 75 pounds. You have a lot of Ghanaian friends, their food is limited. It's not like the United States of America where we have hundreds of different varieties of dishes. They say, "Oh, that's a..."
The thing about Ghana is stop crying victim. Stop crying victim, because y'all cheat us out of a lot of stuff. Y'all invited us to come home, which by the thousands we did. We came running to Ghana. People sold their homes, moved out of their apartments, sold everything. Some people packed up containers and moved over here just to get over here and realize this is not our home. Y'all call us foreigners. Ghanaians call us that. We didn't make that word up. We didn't start calling ourselves that. We don't know that that's what y'all call the white people and the Chinese because we're not around them. But we know that that's what y'all call us. I ain't never heard the word before, Toby, till I came to Ghana. Okay. Y'all invite us home. Let's talk about what y'all do to us. Starting from the fucking before we get to the airport, we got to have a visa that we pay for to even enter our home. We pay all this money for passports and visas to get here. We get to the airport, and as soon as you see a fucking blue passport, everybody's coming for us. Can you give me something small at the COVID place? You get to immigration. Can you give me something small? You get to baggage. Can you give me something small? A person grabbed a damn cart and put my bag on it and got mad because I gave him $5 because I only had hundreds, because you come over here with hundreds to get the best, cash in rate. How about he looked at that and said, "I don't want that." I said, "What you mean you don't want it?" I said, I want to know, what did you expect me to give you? He said, $10. I said, "So you want me to give you over 100 CDs for picking up a bag, putting it in a cart?" He don't know this is like my 5th time coming through the airport. I have never seen nowhere in any country or state where people have openly, it says $60 for foreigners, $30 for locals, okay? You go to Cocoon Park, and I don't remember the price. Let's say $200 for foreigners, because that's what y'all call us, $40 for locals. You go to the castle, it's $60 for foreigners, $10 for locals. I ain't never seen that nowhere. I ain't never went nowhere in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada where it said you pay, if you a local, if you're from here, you pay $3 for a Coca-Cola, but if you're a foreigner, you pay $8 for a Coca-Cola. I ain't never seen that nowhere except Ghana. Nobody in the airport has ever asked me for no money for nothing. I have only seen that in Ghana. Now let's talk about the fact that y'all welcomed us home and how this process looks to me. According to y'all, the ones of us that were stolen, so let's talk about the process of coming home. We got stolen from our mother, our birth mother and father. 20 years later, we're probably 26 years old now. Our mother finds us and she said, "Baby, y'all come home. I miss you. Come back home. Get out them streets where they don't love you at and come home." So we drive, take a taxi, however we get to our mother's address, we get there. But before she let us come to the door, she says, "Oh, welcome home. But before you come in, can you pay me $300 to enter the door?" That's the visa to come home. So, okay, we happy to be home. So we paid $300 to our mother to step foot in her house because we're excited to be home to the motherland, okay? We get in there, and now it's dinner time. And she has plates on the table for the kids that grew up in the house, and she has a plate on the table for me and my sister who was stolen years ago. And she says, oh, my daughters, because you didn't grow up here, my children get to eat free that grew up here, but because you were stolen and you're just coming back, I have to charge you $20 for a plate. So me and my sister, we're so happy to be home. We're confused. We pay her $20 for a plate. Okay. That's the cocoon shit. That's y'all giving us different prices for shit. Okay. Now we're at our mother's house and we're enjoying being there. We see something's a little weird, but we enjoy being back home with our mother. We decide we want to stay. And she goes, oh, you want to stay a little longer? You're going to have to pay me $1,000 every year to stay here. That's the residency. Now we're paying her for residency, even though she invited us home after we were stolen from her. Okay. Now we pay the residency, and then we decide, you know what? We want to get on the birth certificate. We kind of like it here. It's a little weird, but we comfortable enough to stay here. And she tells us, oh, in order for you to stay here, I have to put my name on your birth certificate. That's going to be $3,000 each, please. And then I will put your name on the birth certificate and you will become a family member. That's the citizenship. That's the citizenship. So how are we home if we got to pay y'all? Why aren't the visas free? If this is home, why don't you make this visa free for us? If this is
American food, I guess hamburger. They think hamburger and hot dog is American food. I wouldn't blame them because if you watch television, not cable, they have 20-year-old movies and they're like, oh, black Americans sell drugs because they're looking at The Corner and shit like that from like 20 years ago. And, but anyway, I digress. So I'm going to start making more videos. I don't like the way I look because I'm fat. I've gained a lot of weight. But I don't give a fuck. A lot of people on TikTok don't got no teeth. They don't even take off their bonnets and shit. So it is what it is. It feels really therapeutic, even if nobody watches my videos, to post about like the shit that I went through. It was fucked up. It was really traumatizing because going to a country like I lived in Kenya, and Kenyans don't look a lot like us, and West Africans look like everybody in my family, and apparently to them they don't. And it's funny that they claim to be accepting because you hear all this stuff about like Japan not being accepting. I've been to South Korea, very not accepting, but in their culture it's very polite to not stare at you. It's not polite to scream at you, hey fat pig, hey nigger, or whatever. Like they don't scream insults at you. They're very polite. But in South Korea I did sit down at some restaurants and they would like not serve you. So if they weren't serving you, you just get up and leave. So, but anyway, I wanted to make some of these videos because it's therapeutic to get this shit off my head. I'm also writing a manuscript called The Unwelcoming to Ghana. You don't invite somebody to a dirty house. I got that from Mama Ebo, I stayed in a house for the first 3.5 months with a family. And it was great. They sheltered me though from what I would receive when I lived on my own in Ghana. And I didn't know it was so xenophobic. I didn't know that they would say no Nigerians, no South Africans, agents. I didn't know agents. It's like the whole country is just a big scam. You can't find an apartment without using an agent. They were like, well, go around and look for an apartment yourself. Okay, I did. And a lot of the apartments that foreigners live in, they're paying rents in the amount of the United States. Why would I pay $600 for a room? It was like one room. What we call from Philly, what we call it like an efficiency. I'm not paying $600 for an efficiency to live in East Lagoon. I'm not. That's just stupid. When Ghanaians are paying $50 to $100 a month for rent. I mean, now it's probably much higher. I don't know. I really don't give a shit. But then you're scammed. They make you pay like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and it's actually an extra month on top of that. And then, so I did go around and look for places, and then when I called numbers, it was an agent's phone number. Like, what? So then you got to pay your rent for a year, for 13 months, and then you have to pay the agent 10%. That's just, the whole country's a scam. But because of my skin color and they thought I was white, I got asked like 3-4 times to pay the water bill for the whole apartment. It's like 3,000 CDs. Like, are you fucking serious? But there's a lot of scamming there. Everything. And because of my skin color, which that go black to Africa doesn't say anything about it. He just keeps making it seem like you're black all over the world, and you're not. You literally are not. Like, you, to assume. There's an article that I read, and I actually wrote about this several times. There's an article I read, and the woman is from Senegal, and she's dark skinned. And Tawab, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. I need to find the correct pronunciation for it. But it means white person, just like Obroni means white person. No, it doesn't. It means foreigner. If you don't fucking answer when they call you Obroni, me, when I didn't answer, they throw their hands in your face and like, don't you hear me, white woman? I'm talking to you. The fuck? And it cracks me up because when I come across, I'm in the States now, and I will move to another African country. It will never be back to Ghana because Kenya was not like this. Kenya, I paid my rent by the month. I was not scammed and overcharged everywhere. They really mistrust Kenyans. Like, when you leave a store, if you go to the supermarket in Kenya and you leave the supermarket, there's like a line, and I'm like, well, what is this line for? And they're like, oh, they have to check your bag. The bag I just paid for right there, like, you can see the register. You saw me come from the register, and then you want to check my bag to see if I stole anything. How could I steal anything? We're like 10 feet from the register. And so because of this skin color, I'm sorry, I just walked out. I looked at the security and I would walk out. I would not go to a security guard. Like, you know how I would go to Walmart and they check your receipt and everything. But I didn't. I would just not do it. But being overcharged and scammed, never. I was on the beach. I have a scarf in there. It actually has Bob Marley on it. It's a long, thin silk scarf. And the woman, like, it was on the beach in Mombasa, and she's like negotiating the price. And I was with my husband. That's a long story. I'm married in Kenya, but whatever. And she took whatever, you know, we had, because we didn't have that much cash on, because, you know, you could use mobile money. It's called M-Pesa. So one of the things that I did not expect in Ghana was it to be scam, fraud, everywhere you go. It made me want to eat at foreign restaurants because they knew I was black. The Lebanese, they knew I was black. And it wasn't like, oh, the price is on the menu, I'm not going to make up a price just for you and scam you. Mango's restaurant, one of my favorites. But every time I went in there, everybody would stop eating and stare at me. And it was like a fucking joke. Like, Accra is a major capital in a major African country. And why the fuck are you staring at me? So this video, and then a lot of videos are going to lead up to just me just letting this anger off of me, because I gave up my whole life. And I live in an empty apartment because I literally let, my daughter was here when I left, and I let her take all the furniture. And then it's like, Ghanians would say, get the fuck out my country. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Fuck. The first time someone said the F word, I was like, are you fucking serious? They just cursed at me. There were so many things that happened, and I was so much shock. I never took out my phone, and I really wish I would have recorded this. But again, I'm going to start posting it. I have videos of some things. I have receipts of the xenophobia. I have a lot of issues here, and I have some receipts and documentation, and I'm just going to start uploading it just to let a lot of this stress and anger off my chest. I'm going to be using a clip from a woman's that lives in Ghana. I'm going to use a clip from that. I'll have her page mentioned there and everything. But just the book is therapeutic, which will have screenshots of everything, and I'll have photos of all the stuff that I'm talking about. And I'm just going
Ghana for workers, I didn't move it more denser. I dang. Ah, dang. Share, my father runs a business in Ghana, Edum, Kumasi, where he's employed 3 employees. He pays them a monthly salary. Almost salary dates in. He always pays them on time. Now, his 3 employees planned to steal his money and then fake an armed robbery attack to cover up for the money that they have stolen. And not only that, their plan was me papa adwuma no completely. Wie na me papa kofe sika foforo e de be share adwuma ni mu a ombese wiase sika no na oma me papa poison edi. Anase oma bonituo e yine free atiasefo e wiase. Ade na mo bitri mo den sa. Dang. As you can see, this planned robbery was all caught on CCTV. God being so good, the sales girl that they had targeted to be able to carry out their robbery is a God-fearing woman, okay? When they planned to include her, the girl recorded everything and reported it straight to the police. She na me say, nyama bi say, movies na taisi, man juna ho da. Says something like this would happen so close to home. Let's all be so careful. Let's be vigilant. Ghanaian employers, mo amafa amanfo adwuma, mesremo, mo mamanin kom adwuma. Mo so amoye workers, yes sremo. Mundi no kre. Emma mo amoye adwuma ma wo mo because enda from. Let's all be extra vigilant with our dealings. Thank you. Ghana for workers, adena mo bitchi mo dang sir. Dang. Share, my father runs a business in Ghana, Edum, Kumasi, where he's employed 3 employees. He pays them a monthly salary. Almost salary dates in. He always pays them on time. Now, his 3 employees planned to steal his money and then fake an armed robbery attack to cover up for the money that they have stolen. And not only that, their plan was me papa adwuma no completely. Wie na me papa kofe sika foforo e de be share adwuma ni mu a ombese wiase sika no na oma me papa poison edi. Anase oma bonituo e yine free atiasefo e wiase. Ade na mo bitri mo den sa. Dang. As you can see, this planned robbery was all caught on CCTV. God being so
to just get things off my chest. And I wish people had told me that Ghana was like this instead of just saying, oh my God, it's so welcoming. Oh God, Wakanda. Did you see the fucking movie? How can a country that's 40, and I'm not insulting him, it is, I've taken the bus from Accra all the way to Tumu. Tumu is the top of Ghana, which is the border with Burkina Faso. I have taken the bus several times, because I was dating a soldier, and the country literally is 40% developed. And the way the people live outside of Accra and Kumasi is absolutely fucking depressing. It is the year of our Lord 2024, and the Ghana government allows these people to live like this. There are entire towns that don't have running fucking water. There is a road from Wa to Tumu. It's 4 hours. They're finally starting to pave that road. You could die on that road. The road is so bumpy, and robbers from is absolutely fucking depressing. It is from Wa to Tumu, you get robbed and hijacked, which is why I always had to take a professional bus that had a armed police officer. When I was in Wa one time, my ex, who's a soldier, was in Wa. He said, get off there. I was headed to Tumu, and it was Christmas, and so I stayed in Tumu with him in Wa for 4 days, and he's like, Tracy, they finished it, I'm going back to Tumu. And I was so sad because I wanted to get on one of those little trotros, and he was like, Tracy, you can't. He was like, they're going to rob you. He was like, even the person driving the trotro will call his friend and have them come rob you. And I was like, well, why don't you just take all my things with you, in the military vehicle back up to Tumu? And he was like, so when they come to stop you and you have nothing on you, they're going to just kill you. So the things that he sees and has to deal with, especially the highway robberies that you'll never hear about on the news, because the army is not going to put that on the news. They're not, because the army is going to handle it the way armies do. And whatever. So this is just another video, and I'm going to try to put screenshots of some of the things I'm talking about, because a lot of people are, oh, I don't believe you, they're so perfect and gonna, they're so loving and gonna accept everybody. If they accepted everybody, then it would be like Kenya. You would be walking around and see white people and Chinese people and people everywhere of different ethnicities. You know what I mean? It would be like South Africa. It would be like Southern Africa. If they accepted everybody, it would be more diversity in the country, and they wouldn't stare at this all fucking day, every day, and insult me all day, every. If this was normal, if this was such an accepting country, then why did they kick kids out of school for having fucking dreadlocks? No, they didn't. They accept dreadlocks. Everybody got dreadlocks in Ghana. Da, 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 da. It's literally a trend on TikTok where it says he has no dreads, he don't smoke, he has no tattoos. Africans do not like this shit. No, they do not like dreadlocks. Stop fucking lying. There's only like 4 countries where it's actually legalized, and Kenya was one of them where I had it maybe 6 years ago. It was illegal because of the Mau Mau, and then there was a gang of people that, well, they accused them of being in a gang. And even here on YouTube, you can see videos of how dreadlocks are not acceptable, tattoos are not acceptable, and your fucking light skin is not acceptable. But people want to believe whatever they want to believe, because there are so many influencers from Ghana who got stuck in Ghana and couldn't leave because that's all they had. So what did they do? They had to start, there's a couple on here, a man and a woman, and then they're like, oh, we have to go back to racist America. We're not black in Ghana. And the first honest thing they ever said in their video, we're not black in Ghana. And they're right. Listen to everything people say and you'll hear the truth. They are not black in Ghana, and they were told they weren't black as soon as they opened their mouth. And I'm sure they're going to lie and say that's not true. They also run an expat group in Ghana, and this is how they get posts and stuff. And if you ever notice this, by the way, it's nice outside. It's hot, but it's nice. If I was making these videos in Ghana, why the fuck would I be in the house? It's beautiful outside every fucking day. So this couple on here makes all these videos talking about they're in Ghana, and then all you see is the background, no window, but a photo behind them. Listen, y'all have to be discerning. There is even a black American man in Ghana who is scamming black Americans. I have receipts for everything I'm saying. So all these people coming here and making it like Ghana is so accepting are fucking not telling you the full truth. They also, a lot of them do not live in the country full time. They'll come for a month or two, even build houses and leave. But they will not tell you this because you have to make money off of getting people to watch. And I don't care if people watch me. At least I'm getting this shit off my chest. And I want someone to be able to do the research and say, listen, maybe I don't want to go to a country that has a huge rape culture like Ghana. It's a hidden rape culture. They charge rape fees. They're fucking children. There's a diaspora news network on here, and they're like, oh, the United States, they try to put their agenda in Ghana. I don't care about the LGBTQ right now. The United States does not care that that femicide and gender-based violence is crazy in Ghana or Uganda or Kenya, or that Museveni is fucking slaughtering and beating fucking Ugandans. So anything you see from the diaspora network, they don't even read the news, and they report shit after it's always happened, especially about Burkina Faso. I read the news every fucking day in Burkina. The newspaper covers only come out Monday through Friday, but I read the news every fucking day. I have 3 pages where I post videos and news about Burkina Faso because that's where I'm going to go. I'm being immersed in it. I am learning to speak more right here. This is so a lot of the things you see here are people full of shit, because if they speak good about Ghana, then Ghanaians will watch and be like, oh my god, I love it, I love it, I love it, Ghana, 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 because that's what they want. They're so brainwashed. Their country's the best country in the world, even though they want to leave. And then they say, well, if the leaders were different, it would be such a better place. No, if y'all would stop scamming, stop saying anything out your fucking mouth, stop touching people, stop raping, stop being immoral, basically. Fuck the whole LGBTQ bill.